Hey, everybody, Joel and Jeremy back. It is our games of the month. It is February, and Jeremy, February brings playoffs in all sorts of sports, and that is a fun time.
What an exciting time of the year for Minnesotans, huh? You're starting to think that maybe the weather is going to start changing soon. You've got section playoffs. You got wrestling starting in the middle of the month. You've got girls basketball getting rolling more towards that last week of the month, and then you move into the boys. I mean, it's just really, really an exciting time of year for everyone, right? Maybe green grass even by the end of March. So it's just fun to kind of get this all together. It's really, really an exciting time. And when you look at this in December, you think it's so far away, right? And guess what? Here we are all of a sudden.
Well, girls hockey starts things off on February 9th. That is the first sport. That's not the last sport. As you mentioned, all of the sports get going here. Right now, as we record this, we have 3 area teams in different sports that are ranked in the top 5 in the state. So we'll draw attention to all of those teams. The first one, you mentioned wrestling, so we'll go there. Waconia in Class 3A, ranked number 3 in the state. They got maybe the best wrestler in the state on their roster, and they're looking for some big things here this February.
You know, you talk about a juggernaut. What has Waconia wrestling turned into, right? And you mentioned Max McAnally. He's one of the best in the area. Even wrestled Greco-Roman wrestling for the United States team. So very accomplished young man who had an outstanding football career, and now trying to cap off that senior year with another state championship. And his team is pretty darn good, too. So lots to be excited about right now if you're a Waconia wrestling fan over the course of this next month.
Then over in girls basketball, the other 2 ranked teams are both in the same section right now. Number 2 ranked Buffalo Lake Hector Stewart. Number 3 ranked Mayor Lutheran. They may not stay ranking there because I know they have a regular season game coming up here. But that's going to be a really fun section. That's going to be like a mini state tournament to get through that section.
Definitely could be. And, you mentioned it. We're going to kind of get to see a preview of what could potentially be one heck of a section championship game with a close to end of season, regular season matchup. 2 teams that really have their sights set on getting to St. Paul. And, when you look at it, Buffalo Lake Hector Stewart, they kind of thought last year they might be 1 year away, right? And it was Mayor Lutheran who was able to get to the state tournament, took 3rd. Well, Mayor's kind of reloaded with a couple of key freshmen. BLHS, they brought the core of that team back. So when you talk about expectations, you have 2 teams that have monster expectations, and the expectation is to be playing when they get into March and playing in that state tournament. Going to be really fun to see which direction those 2 teams come. And as you mentioned, Joel, that's a really tough section. There's no guarantee that those are going to be the 2 teams we see playing in the section championship, and that's what makes it really fun.
Well, folks can find out who gets to that section championship and others. We got all the coverage, KDUZ, KARP, KGLB, this February. For Jeremy, I'm Joel.